Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we're getting started on our next multiplayer matchup. We are going to be playing the Settlement map, Strategic Command, 2,000 points. I'm going to be playing as the Astra Militarum, and we're going to be playing against the Orcs. It is an 80-point target, 8-turn limit, so this can be a little bit of a harder match for the Astra Militarum because you have some bad ranged areas, but we'll play around with it. Hopefully I can use the cover to help protect our tanks a little bit and keep our guys alive. So I have a tank commander with the standard default kit. I have two commissars, both with the power swords. They have their default bolt pistol because I couldn't afford to give them the plasma pistol. I did bring along a Primaris Psyker because I feel like I haven't been giving them very much love. I have Rogaldorn battle tanks here with the oppressor, pulverizer cannons, and then the heavy bolter, heavy stubber builds. Those are my favorite combo with those. And then the tank commander can give them double attacks. I have a Lehman Russ with the Demolisher Cannon, Heavy Bolter, Las Cannon, because I think that works pretty well against the Orcs. I have two Heavy Flamer Armored Sentinels, and then three Cadian Shock Troops with the standard kit. And hopefully they can body block different positions for us, and also act as momentum fodder for us as we use our Commissar to shoot them in the head. Now, probably should have had that commissar a little bit to the right so everybody could have got the battle line doctrine again, because I pretty much left momentum on the table there, because you'll get bonus momentum if you have guys in the battle line doctrine. So let's move you over to here. You know, the left side of the map is actually probably the easiest for long range, but so is the very center here. So I think what I'll do is just do double Rogaldorns on the right to try to hold the line. We'll keep the Cadians over here.
Sentinel on the move.
And we'll keep you over here, and then we can hide the Psyker over this way to either buff or to maybe even use the Maelstrom to block the Orcs from capturing points. I'm not quite sure what. Well, kind of all depends on what our opponents end up doing here. So 5 to 5. So we can hear he's got a death copter. Alright, we see he's got some boys with the choppas. Alright, can't really see a whole lot else. I could run you all the way up there to capture that point, but then you're pretty much going to be stuck in no man's land. Alright, we've got the... What do we got over here? So he's got a Pain Boy, but he's out of range, so that should help us almost kill these guys. Yep. Alright. So I think we move you over here. We shoot you here. And then we buff everybody's crit chance. I probably should have had the Psyker over there so she could have got some momentum too. But I think if I move you over to here, you should now be able to shoot down the Storm Boys with your Heavy Bolter. Oh, you're just short. Well, that's what the Heavy Stubber's for, I guess. There you go. Alright, good. I would really like to kill that Pain Boy, but I think he's in enough cover I'm not going to be able to shoot him. Yeah. Alright, well, shoot the Pain Boy, or the boys there. Okay, good. Do I pull you back? I think we just sit here and shoot because you're in cover. Oh, I thought you had 2 movement left. Alright, well I guess we're not going to capture that point. Damn it. I thought I had another turn. I don't think I want to waste my pulverizer cannon on that. That would just be wasteful. I assume he probably... Well, you know, actually I don't know. If I get you all the way over to here... Maybe we just set you up with some Overwatch. Can put you on some Overwatch. If I pull you back, that should get those guys out of frag grenade range.
Let them come.
Let's move you up so everybody's in the battle line. So we get the momentum. So we do want to try to build that up. Because if I can get to tier 3 with our command points, it's going to be a bad day for our opponents here. Ah, I bet I could have shot that pain boy with our tank here had I had thought that out a little bit better. Well, let's just shoot here. And we miss. Yeah, I bet I could have killed that pain boy. Damn it. Well, it's not the end of the world. We definitely did pretty well with our first engagement here. I think we just pull back, make them come to us, and then we'll make some decisions from there. Yeah, see, I could have made the pain boy not be able to move around either. Well, I do want to get this momentum gains going here, so maybe I use mental shackles. And that'll really interfere with the boys here, so if they end up deciding to capture that point, they'll get stuck there. So yeah, he takes the lead by 5 points. Okay, so he's going to leave them out there to be trapped in the center. But I mean, they're only a 55-point unit, so it's probably not the end of the world. Okay, here comes some boys over here. I didn't hear anything, so I assume we just whiffed it. What do we got here? More boys with the choppas. Here comes a Def Copter. I'm not quite sure why he decided to come over here. Okay, he's going to use the Gretchen to body block. That makes sense. Pain Boy to give bonus health. Yep. Here's the flash skits as we were expecting. Alright, more flash skits. Alright, so he's got guys back there. Pain Boy. Yep, that's what you should do. Okay, Weird Boy. Is that... No, that's not his HQ unit. Oh, he's got a custom force field, so he's got a Mech Boy back there. Okay. That's actually a really good hero against the Astra Militarum, because you know we're going to have so much range. Why are you jumping up with your Storm Boys like that? Ah, he's moving the Def Copter up too. Okay, well, he's being aggressive. Very orky, I guess. Alright, well, let's move you up to here. And we'll have you shoot these guys down. Ah, you're just short. Alright. Well, actually, if I bring you over to here,
victory through discipline.
I could shoot these guys. Ah, you're just short. You're short by 7. Alright, well, let's have you shoot here, because you should kill those guys. Alright, so he does have Ludas with beamy def guns. I would have been shocked if he didn't. We'll bring you over to here. And then, if he brings those Ludas over here, he's going to really mess me up. I can bring the Demolisher over here, and that should really wreck these Pain Boys day. Or not Pain Boys, Storm Boys. And then I can use these guys, the Commissar maybe, to lock down the Def Copter. 85% chance to hit. Nice. I think we just use your heavy bolters to finish them off here. Nice. And now you can actually surge. So let's get you up to here. And you can chop here. Nice. You've got 3 movement. Yeah, it's only 59% chance to hit. Okay, so he's expecting me to get shot up by Overwatch. But I think if I use the Nitro, that'll give me immunity to Overwatch. And then I'll give our tank, the Rugeldorn, double attacks. And I should literally be able to just drive my Rugeldorn through all this area and shoot whoever I want. And it looks like he's got the mech boy just hiding out back there. So if I land my double attacks, I should be able to kill the mech boy, because I assume he must be the HQ commander. And it looks like the pain boy is actually far enough away from the big mech that he's not getting the bonus health, so I should definitely be able to kill him. Yeah, 85% chance to hit. You definitely feel the accuracy penalty using that pound him to dust ability nowadays. But I think that's probably good. It's definitely a pretty overpowered ability without being nerfed. Alright, come on, baby. Alright, there's both. So that gets you to 88 health left. Now, if I move you up 1, that should increase your chance to hit here, because I don't think 2 pulverizer cannons are going to be enough to kill the pain boy, and the flash kits are actually going to do more damage than the pain boy is. Now, I'm not really happy to shoot through all these guys. Alright, let's do this. Only a 63% chance to hit, huh? Alright. Let's do heavy bolter. Yeah, heavy bolter this guy. You should get the kill. Come on, baby. Alright, nice. So that's huge. Oh, we're 1 freaking momentum away from being able to do another attack.
Got your armor right here, sir.
Damn. That is a bummer.
Ready to win the war, sir. Armored sentinel
Alright,
ready.
so you are here. I can flame him. Ah, he's within range of the pain boy, naturally. I'd like to kill those flash gets, but I can't quite reach them.
Dawn crew ready.
I do have the heavy stubber, but that's like 50 damage, so you may not actually be able to get the kill. I think I want to run in with these Cadian shock troops and try to soak up any overwatch, because I'm not sure where the flash gets are going to shoot.
Armor rolling
And I don't want them to shoot my tank commander. Yeah, it's only 44% chance to hit. Let's move you over to here. Interesting. Alright. Well, I can do this. Nice.
Ready to win the war, sir.
Not guaranteed kill.
Stay we rode in today, sir.
If I move you over to here, I can have you use your demolisher cannon. Oh, you whiffed. Alright, how about this? 60%? There you go. Alright, and I think we'll bring you over to here, because that should give you some partial cover, and you're getting some bonus HP from the Commissar. You're here. Okay, good hit. Alright, 62. Oh, I forgot about all your crits, but you barely just got the kill. Alright, so I could put you behind cover. I think I gotta try to kill this Death Copter, because I think he's gonna annoy the hell out of me doing hit and run tactics.
Knows our every move.
So let's pull you back.
Rogel Dawn crew ready. Let us try and get to this armor.
Alright, you're here. Okay, here you go. Shoot him. Oh, you whiffed it. I thought that was going to kill the pain boy.
Through discipline.
Alright, well, now we're back to this situation again. I mean, I'd like to kill the pain boy so I could kill some of these other guys. But, actually, if I shoot the Death Copter, it's so weird. So, straight line, you're gonna have poor accuracy, but if you come over here, now you have better accuracy. I just hate how Slytherin has some of these stupid, has their elevation and cover system here. It just doesn't make any sense. Let's see here. I could move you up and then use your pulverizer cannon against the Death Copter, potentially. Because if you land that hit, I might be able to kill him with a flamer. Okay. I think the Sentinel should be able to do 30 damage.
Sentinel on the move.
So let's get you up to here. Yeah, for sure you can. Nice. Alright. Now I could use you to capture that point, but I'm pretty sure the Ludas have their beamy def guns set up to have that on Overwatch. So that's going to do significant damage. So I think I actually probably want to run my Cadians up here. Yeah, see, here they come. So yeah, they're shooting into me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, good. So we can capture that. So this should tie us up in terms of points. And then I'm going to bring the Sentinel over here. Or I could bring it here. The Flash Gits could move over here and shoot him, though. If I bring you over to here, that's going to make the Ludas have to move in further. And that might help my other guys get the kill. So let's do that. Although I assume the Ludas are just going to come in and try to kill my Rogel Dorn. Well, I shouldn't say try. They should be able to kill the Rogel Dorn.
Ready to win the water.
Yeah, I doubt the Ludas are coming over here, but if they do, they'll be able to shoot you if you're there, and they'll have a little harder time shooting you if you're here, so let's do that. Alright, so 25 to 25, we're tied up. Weird Boy is becoming his HQ commander. Alright, so he's blinding my tank, and that also lowers the evasion a little bit. Oh, right, because he doesn't... I was thinking, why isn't he using his command point abilities? But he doesn't, because I killed his big mech. Is he really not going to be able to kill that tank? He's got to be able to kill that tank. Oh, you're going to throw a grenade, aren't you? Yep. These guys are going to throw a grenade? Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure. I'm like, he's either coming to fight my commissar or throw a grenade. Alright, 40. Oh, yeah. He's definitely going to kill him because now the Flash Gits are going to shoot it. Yep. And Headbanger? Yep. Yep. And that's going to kill the count. Yep, there goes the Cadians. Yep. Alright, and he's coming out after my Psychers. Oh, yeah, I didn't really think about the frag grenades there. Okay, well, so much for body blocking. He'll take that point back. Choppers are running up. Okay, what do I want to do now? You can flame here. And as long as you kill somebody, you should be able to surge. In fact, you didn't just kill one, you killed all of them. So I can get you over there. So let's capture that back. And I can run you all the way over to here.
Sentinel on the move.
And you can flame these guys down. Now, unfortunately, you're probably not going to get the kill because you're not going to be critting this time since you're... Well, you almost actually did it.
Flee will be cut down where you stand.
You know, I probably should have just shot him with my bolt pistol because now I'm going to have to use 2 attacks here. Yeah, I should have bolt pistoled him. I bet that would have got the kill. Alright, now I'd really like to use the Demolisher here. I could have him come over here to attack those Flash Gits, but then they're going to be left out in the center.
Got your armor right here, sir.
They're here. I probably just need to have you flame these guys down, right? Because you can't really move because you're going to be locked down. Nice. Alright. You've only got one. So, how do I want to do this?
Victory through discipline.
I could have you attack the Storm Boys. I could have you attack the Storm Boys. I really think I gotta try to kill the Flash Gits, though. They're the ones I'm most worried about. And then 70% chance to hit. Yeah, that's gonna leave you out in the center here.
These manifold dangers are beyond your understanding.
That would be 72 to 80. 6 per model.
I don't need my powers to crush you.
Damn, I'm one momentum, but I did okay. What I probably should have done is charge in with you. You did splash damage, and then I probably could have had enough momentum for a second round of attacks. That's what I should have done. Damn. Alright, so now we're back to this situation again. How do I want to do this? Yeah, you don't have great accuracy. I'd really like to drop those guys.
Rogal Dawn crew ready.
Let's just shoot into here, see what you can do. Alright, you killed 2 models. Yeah, it's only a 40% chance to hit. If I run you up to here, can you shoot that pain boy? You can.
Firing.
Pain is in your mind. One of you, actually.
Alright, decent.
Advance.
Move you over there to give him some bonus HP and momentum. If I do this, I have to use 2 AP for 1 melee attack. What do I want to do here? I can't believe my...
Rolling out.
Wait, okay, I move you here, and now you can shoot. Excellent, those guys are down. That's huge for us. And then I think I can just move you up to here.
Firing.
Yep, there goes the pain boy. 75% chance to hit here. Oh, damn it. So the Ludas are still over here.
Warp knows our every move.
I could move you here and lock down the pain boy. Which probably wouldn't be too bad, but then she only has 112 HP left. So let's run the Commissar up here to lock down the weird boy.
Conviction.
And then I can bring the Demolisher.
Victory through discipline.
Well, let's bring you up to here and just capture this point back. And if he wants to use his Ludas to kill you, fine.
These manifold dangers are beyond your understanding.
Alright. So it's like there's going to be... We're going to give him lots of targets to shoot into, but he's just going to have to decide which one he wants to
I
do.
will go where I want.
We'll bring you up to there, so that'll lock down the pain boy, or he'll come after them with the Ludas. We'll bring you over here.
The Warp knows our every move.
And then we'll just maybe keep the... Oh, here. Let's bring you over to here, because that should give you some cover from the Ludas.
Right you are then.
Alright, that should be good. So now we're 40 to 35. He's using his command point ability. Flash gets... Gonna kill my Commissar, I bet.
We'll get them back.
Yeah, there goes the Commissar. And then he ended up conceding. That makes sense, because he only had 1 Luda left to attack and then the Pain Boy. So even if he had moved the Luda around, he would have killed the Psyker, then everybody else would be there. So he took out 1 Pain Boy, 3 Storm Boys, 5 boys with Choppas, 2 Def Copters, 1 boy with a big gun, 1 Big Mech, 1 Flash Gits, 1 Gretchen, And then I don't know what this unit sacrifices its movement situation is. But our tank commander had 86% accuracy. Commissars had 100% with their melee attacks. Rogaldorns had 77 accuracy with 2 kills. The Lehman Russ had 90 accuracy with 3 kills. Armored Sentinels obviously are going to have 100%. Cadians had 100%. Rogaldorn had 66, but he was also shooting at a difficult area. The other Cadians 100%, 0 because they didn't get an attack. And then our little psyker boy here. So definitely a good match here. The Astra Militarum definitely has a little bit of trouble. I really hate how this right side, or I guess it would be the left side of the map now, is set up with the cover. I mean, it really seems like that alleyway along the building should be regular attacks and not have difficulty with the accuracy. So it's weird that you have to move one block over to be able to have better accuracy instead of shooting in an unimpeded alleyway will give you poor accuracy. So it's just really weird how some of these map squares are set up, and so I get pretty frustrated with that. In terms of our opponent here, you know, he did a good job buffing up his units. The big thing is you want to use that tier 1 command point ability as much as possible, especially with your Ludas, because you can see with 40% extra shots, that effectively gives your Ludas an extra round of attacks, because they usually shoot with 2 rounds, but then if you use that ability, they have 3 rounds of attacks, and that's how he's able to one-shot down my Sentinel there. And then that can be even more devastating when you're playing with the Flash Gits and you're using their ability to sacrifice their additional movement for additional attacks, and then you can give them 40 additional attacks on top of that when you're using those tier 1 command point abilities. So that gets to be really crazy. The Big Mech was definitely a good choice. The one thing that he had going against him though is I think he was assuming that I was going to be able to not get in there and attack him because I was able to nullify all of that Overwatch with our Rogaldorn by using our Psyker ability. And had we tried to move in there with the Rogaldorns, it definitely would have taken significant damage because the Big Mech has an anti-armor attack now. And then all the Ludas and then the Flash Gits would have been shooting into them as well. And that could have been a real nightmare for us. So bringing kind of a mixed force like we did really works well against the Orcs. Now he had a bunch of Sluggas with the Shootas. I think that makes pretty decent sense against the Astra Militarum, because if you can run them up there and lock the guys into melee, that can really mess up the tank situation, because unlike the battle suits with the Tau, the tanks do suffer accuracy penalties to their ranged attacks. Now, I always thought it was weird that the tank commander has to use up 2 AP if you wanted to give himself the melee attack, one to give him the Blitz ability, and then the other AP to use the Blitz ability. I kind of wish that if he was trying to use that himself, that it would just be 1 AP for him to use it, or 1 AP to give that ability to somebody else. So it definitely feels weird that you have to use 2 AP to use that ability as the tank commander, but it was kind of a moot point because we were able to use the Demolisher cannon to get in there and get the kill. Now the big thing there is it was nice to see that, if again, it's a stupid cover system, so if you move 1 square up where the actual Storm Raven was destroyed, you have better accuracy than if you're just by the dirt. So there's weird things with how the Slytherin does their cover systems and their obstacles affecting you. So it's very finicky. I really wish they made it a little more clear. That's actually one thing that Battlesector, the hell was that game called? Sanctus Reach actually did much better. Is when you would be shooting guys at range, you get a little indicator icon on every tile that was going to affect your accuracy, and I really wish they would kind of do something like that here, because I think they would find a lot of their tiles are kind of buggy and giving you accuracy penalties when you probably shouldn't. And if it was as instructed, then it'll give the players an idea of which tiles to avoid when they're doing ranged attacks, because that's one thing that can make this map pretty hard for newer players, is because there's so much finicky cover that it can make it pretty hard if you're doing a ranged build that can really affect you. Now this guy was doing kind of a hybrid but mostly melee build with some ranged backup. And then he overextended with his Deathcopter, so he really didn't get much use out of those Deathcopters. So I think if you're going to put so much investment into melee, you may actually want to bring a War Boss out, so that'll get you the Boss is Watching ability, which will give you increased accuracy and increased melee damage. Alternatively, you could have gone with another pain boy. That way you would have more HP, because you kind of at times were overextending yourself a little bit where some characters weren't getting those HP buffs, and that allowed me to get through and get the kill. Because if you have the pain boy with the regular boys, then usually the flamer, unless you have a bunch of momentum built up, is not going to have enough damage to totally flame those guys down, and that'll make me have to use another round of attacks. And then with the storm boys, he kind of overextended himself with the jump, so had he not have wasted some of those jetpack jumps to just move up a little bit, he could have actually jump packed behind my lines there and easily killed my psyker, could have locked down my commissar, and then could have got a full surround on my tank commander to really mess me up. Gesundheit. Sorry about that. And then obviously the big mech was so far back because he was trying to keep it alive, but he could have been giving that force field ability to his other units, and then had he given the bonus health from the buffs to the pain boy to the big mech, I'm not sure I actually would have been able to get that kill very easily, or if I did, I would have had to waste my heavy stubber attack to get the kill, and then I wouldn't have had enough momentum to get another round of attacks on him here, because that's how you really get those Rogaldorns to work real well for you, is you just stack a bunch of attacks on there, get a bunch of kills real quickly, take out his anti-armor, and then because they're so dangerous with the 4 different weapon systems, they usually will take a bunch of fire, and then they can literally tank a bunch of attacks and make units waste a bunch of attacks on there. And then one thing I did kind of shittily is I did have my Cadians pretty close to it, so then I forgot that if they're by any vehicle when it explodes, then it's gonna 100% kill them. So that's a little bit interesting. It seems like the Astra Militarum, when their vehicles explode, it seems to do more damage than when the, let's say, Annihilation Barge gets blown up, because you can practically kill your units when a tank blows up next to, like Sisters Repentia, if you're playing as the Adeptus Sororitas, whereas if an Annihilation Barge gets blown up by them, it barely damages them. So I don't know, I guess I'd have to look closer at the explosion damage to see if they actually do different percentages and damage, but I would have thought that across the board it would be pretty consistent, but for whatever reason it seems like the Astra Militarum vehicles, when they blow up, definitely seem to do more damage than other factions. So but it seems to be the same icon, so I can't believe that there's different damage there, but do be aware of that. So I think that would be the main things that I give for feedback for our opponent here. And because the big thing with the Def Copters is they can actually be really good on this map because there is so much cover. So you either got to sit there with your rocket launchers and then shoot and then pull back, or just spending a little extra resources to give them the same weapon that your big mech has to be able to snipe from afar and then pull back. And then if there's a bunch of Cadians all grouped together, then by all means use your big bomb, because there you can totally liquidate them. You'll kill whatever model you're attacking, or if there's a Kasserkin, that will really mess them up, and then that splash damage, because it doesn't have much for armor piercing, will mess up the Cadians that are around there because they don't have much armor as well. And then you're able to see how I kind of like to get my bonuses going with my commissars. I think that's a pretty effective way to play as the Astra Militarum, and it's definitely kind of my favorite tactic to use with them, assuming the map will work well. Some people prefer to do a bunch of a bunch of Lehman Russes instead of the Rogaldorns. It just comes down to what your preference is. I think if you're going to be fighting a faction that has more armor, then I think using the Lehman Russes makes more sense, because you'll have those las cannon attacks to help you. But if you're fighting a faction like the Orcs that are mostly going to have infantry, then I think having the Rogaldorns there works out pretty well, because those pulverizer cannons, heavy bolter, can do significant damage to them. And then, you know, you could always play around with the Melta Sponson weapon too, but that's not something I tend to do. So with that, I am going to sign off for the day. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. It encourages me to post more content for you. Have a great day.